Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the JBDC Virtual Biz Zone for Tuesday, February 16th, 2021. My name is Sansia Campbell, and I'm the host for this morning. As you would already be aware, the JBDC Virtual Biz Zone is the platform that is utilized by the JBDC to support the capacity development of our micro and small entrepreneurs, as well as to bring to the fore new developments in the business sector that can support the operation of business in this new normal that we are all experiencing. This morning, we have one such development to share. The theme for this morning is Jamaica, start selling online, and our presenter is Mr. Ariel Roch, CEO of Fygaro, and he is joining us live this morning from Costa Rica. So when you get a chance to, you just give him a little hand clap to welcome him to the audience. Fygaro is an e-commerce platform that enables entrepreneurs in general to sell products and services online, and he's going to explain to you exactly how Fygaro works and how you can capitalize on this new platform to grow and expand your business. Just to tell you a little bit about Ariel, the transformation of the electronic commerce or e-commerce is revolutionizing the way we buy, sell, and even how we live. However, access to these technologies is not as extensive or accessible for entrepreneurs and MSMEs in the Central America and Caribbean regions. Ariel Rochwerger is an entrepreneur who has identified this gap and focused on facilitating access to e-commerce for the region. He studied in New Orleans in the United States and Toronto in Canada, where he saw how technology was revolutionizing the business park and helping local businesses. He tasked himself to find a solution called Fygaro, an all-in-one cloud solution to allow entrepreneurs and MSMEs in the region to formalize, access e-commerce, and grow without borders, removing most of the entry barriers that existed before. He is a digital media and e-commerce professional, advertiser, and entrepreneur with a passion for technology and more than 5 years of experience. He has dedicated himself to sharing his knowledge and training entrepreneurs throughout the region. Before we jump into the session this morning, a reminder that we will take questions following the presentation, but if you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to drop them in the chat. All right, so with that, I'm going to hand over to Ariel, welcome him as he comes, and then we will go ahead. If you have questions after, you can always let me know and we will take those questions. So it's over to you, Ariel.
Thank you, Sansia. Well, hello, everybody. Pleasure to be here with you guys and share a little bit about our experience with Fygaro and how it can help your business get online. So before starting, I would like to thank JBDC for the space, as well as the MICAF, which are our partners in this project within Jamaica, trying to make a reality of helping everybody go online and grow their business with easy to use tools and access to whatever seemed impossible before. So basically today we're going to talk about how to get back to business with online commerce or e-commerce. So as you know, I'm the co-founder and CEO at Fygaro, and one of the things that started Fygaro was actually our own need. One of our companies needed to do invoicing, and we were focused on following up with clients, chasing them all over to have them pay. We were spending most of our time conciliating payments with our bank accounts and making sure that people were paying us in time, but they were always late. And well, I guess you know the scenario. So we created an internal tool that helped us make automation for our company and help us grow. As our customers started seeing how we were billing them, making them accessible online payments with credit card on their invoices and providing some other tools, they were like, hey, I want that. So we decided to make Fygaro available for everybody. So as a summary, Fygaro is an e-commerce business generator. Basically, we seek to help entrepreneurs and SMEs from all different sizes and verticals on getting online, accepting payments, and growing with these. The idea is to bring these novel technologies and make them available to the most. So with our tools, you're going to be able to transform your whole business, keep your accounting up to date, send out invoices, as well as experiment on accepting payments on social media like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or even create a full web store with just a few clicks. To give you an idea, and this is not something impossible to do, we actually have here a case study from Jamaica. Janelle Pantry, who is the store owner from Spaces Jamaica, and she transformed her business last year, early when COVID-19 was starting, because customers weren't coming into their store. So Janelle transformed her business using our payment buttons to start accepting payments from customers all over Jamaica and all over the region, in making a contactless, social distancing friendly and safe option for her business to continue and thrive. So basically, there are tons of stories in Jamaica. We have a lot of customers doing crazy things with our platform, things that we didn't even see that were possible with e-commerce. And I wanted to share a couple of them. So there is another merchant called Kaibis. She started selling on a plaza on the street, on a little blanket. She started selling jewelry and handcrafts that she made. And as she started growing her business, she then got an MPOS from her bank. And later on, early about 2.5 years ago or so, she decided to launch her online store with Fygaro. And now she's selling 24/7. She has grown her business to now have an own store, or retail store, with one employee, and she's growing every day. So if this sounds familiar to you, or this is your case and you have a business, you have an idea, and you want to start growing it, e-commerce is nowadays the option. So basically, there is no need for physical contact. Customers can be anywhere in the world, it doesn't matter, and then can pay you real time 24/7 with a credit card. And the idea behind the digital transformation is that usually it seems to be something complicated, that we don't have the resources or the technical skill or the time to build and manage an effective online business. But now with this new normal, it is a reality that we need to face, and there is something that you can do about it. So with Figaro, we present a solution that is available to anybody. You can start with a free trial, start building up your website, or taking your social media into a complete different level with online payment buttons. Basically, in one single solution, you're going to be able to run your business with all the tools that you need to automate and grow and formalize, with no need of coding, no complications or anything whatsoever, and a full friendly support on the back end that will help you every step of the way. So you might be asking, what's the difference between Figaro and any of those systems that I already know? So there are a lot of differences. First, we bring everything into one single, really low license. We're talking about $14 a month, and that has everything: the bank component, the integrations, the gateway, the point of sale software, the invoicing engine, the courier or logistics integration. It includes development, support, hosting, security, everything that you need to run a successful business, both online and in store. So fully omni-channel experience. And you can start selling on Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram by just doing one click. So it is really great solution. And above all, and then the majority of, or the most added value for you guys, is that we are integrated to most banks in Jamaica. So you can get your funds locally, both in Jamaican dollars and US dollars, which is groundbreaking in this point. So as far as ourselves, we have over 17,000 registered users right now across over 30 countries. We're actually reaching about 40 countries that we serve throughout the Caribbean and Central America. We have partnership with the government of Jamaica, the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, to help SMEs and entrepreneurs like yourselves go online. So we're going to be releasing a lot of different tools and support material to help you through this journey. We're also partnered with different local banks like NCB, as well as Visa, PayPal, and DHL. So we have all the tools that are all available. There's no plugins, no extra payments or anything. It's just one single monthly fee that will help you thrive with your business. So if you're ready to start, we're going to see today a step-by-step guide on how to start an e-commerce business. If you want to do it with Fygaro, you can do so at fygaro.com. You can start in just a few minutes with a free trial, and our support team can help you with any question along the way and do demos or anything that you need to help you get online. So having presented Fygaro, this is the agenda for today. We're going to start by looking at the steps for creating an online store. We're going to explore how to turn your social media into an online store as well. There's no coding needed, nothing, is very easy, so don't get scared. We're going to talk about how to accept payments locally and what are the options and differences, and what are the do's and don'ts when creating an online store. So these are the things we have learned from our experience, from our customers' experience, on what mistakes and what pitfalls to avoid, and how to do a successful launch with an e-commerce website. So to get started, how to make my first sale online. We're going to look at a step-by-step guide. I'm not sure if you guys have already launched a website or if you are just starting to, but the idea here is to guide you with the basic steps on how to do it successfully. So doing the first sale online is an important achievement for your business. But before starting, it is of the utmost importance that you have your online store ready and set up correctly. Meaning you would need to have all your logistics, your pricing, your inventory to avoid any issues. So one of the key elements of e-commerce is that you won't have the customer face-to-face. We'll have to use text, images, and other experiences to make the same memorable experience as if it would on a physical store. So the idea of creating this virtual point of sale is to create an experience for your customers online that mimics that experience of a physical retail store. So to begin, I have a challenge for you. Within an online store, we're going to challenge you to do a sale of at least $60. It can be multiple sales or one sale within the first 14 days of launching your store. This is actually very easy and feasible to do. With a little bit of effort and a little bit of dedication, you're going to achieve much more than $60. But we have chosen this amount because it's very easy and it actually covers all the costs that you're going to face. So it's a great way to start, a great challenge, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Keep in mind that your goal when doing online commerce, e-commerce, social commerce, or any of those options is to generate sales, just as you would on a physical retail store. So the first things first, you need to avoid getting bogged down in the details. We want to launch the website as soon as possible. You don't want your competitors to launch the product first before you and have your customers drive to another place. We want to be there as soon as possible and stop losing potential business. So for most cases, the first iteration of your website, of your social media pages, it's going to be enough. It's going to be perfect. But for some of you, you're going to need to reiterate. You're going to need to improve based on customer feedback. And that's okay. That's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. It means that your customers are interested. They like what you sell and they are giving you feedback to improve. So the secret to making sure that store as quickly as possible, and then focusing just on generating sale opportunities. That means having a place where you can refer customers to make purchases, either on your Facebook, Instagram, or on your own website, and then focusing on creating relationship with those customers, providing them customer service, making sure you get feedback from them, and learning how the experience was poor or good, and being able to mimic that with any other future customers. Keep in mind that with e-commerce, unlike on the physical world, you can come back, start over, relaunch your website, change anything with just a few clicks, and it takes everything in real time. So it's a great way of improving, doing A/B testing, or actually changing based on your own convictions and your business needs. So how are we going to do it? So first of all, we're going to define the product or service that we're going to offer online. Second, we're going to choose what's our best option. If you want to do it a hosted or self-hosted solution, and don't worry if you don't know the difference, we're going to go into detail very soon. And lastly, we're going to help you make your first sale. We're going to give you the tips on how to get people to your website, to your social media, and make your first sales. So let's start by defining a product. What should I sell online? So typically we find people fall into two categories: the daring and the overcautious. The idea and the recommendation is not to fall in any of those categories. We want to be somewhere in between. If we're too daring, we're gonna probably launch a bad product that there is no market fit for it. If we're overcautious, we're probably gonna start drafting ideas and going back and forth and ending up with our first idea. And we have wasted a lot of time trying to go about ideas, investigating, trying, searching, etc. And we're losing potential business. So how can I find a suitable product to sell or service? First of all, define who's going to be your client. You're going to sell locally, you're going to sell within your city, the country, the region, or the world. Once you know that, you can start looking at other stores and other sellers that sell similar things or that are for the same target audience. So you can check other online stores, you can check their social media. And one of the best recommendations, if it is a new product that you didn't have, try to find something that is $50 or less. It's going to be easier for the customer to buy. There's not going to be a lot of thinking and decision making in the process. But at the same time, it's going to allow for you to have your profit on a good scale. If you don't know what's on trend, there is a tool from Google called Google Trends that you can use to find out what people are searching in your region or the target countries. So you can find out if people are interested in mountain bike, in sporting equipment, in healthcare equipment or services or whatever you are trying to sell. So use these tools, searching other online stores, social media, and Google Trends to find out what's hot right now, what's trending. Once you do that, try to find a product of $50 or less, especially for an unattended e-commerce solution that's going to make it easier for customers to take that decision of making a purchase. If you already have a business in existence and you're just transforming it digitally, keep in mind that digital world is a little bit different. So it's going to open your business 24/7. So you're going to need to change your mindset and understand that your sales process is going to need to change. You're going to have to prepare for an online store, having the stock available, making sure that you can handle the different orders and create a schedule on what you're going to check if you receive new orders, when you're going to ship them, when you're going to pack them, etc. So it takes a little bit of a different approach than on a physical retail store that you take in customer by customer. In the online world, you have to create your schedule. You have to be very clean about how you schedule your day and program your different tasks so that you are never falling behind. Take advantage of the work done on your social medias and captive audience and start offering the new option, the online store, the web store, the Facebook store, WhatsApp option, and make sure that your customers, your current client base already knows that you are going to be selling online. Make sure you share with them. One tip is not to make a huge change at once. So you don't want to put all your inventory online. If you have thousands and thousands of stock items, don't go all in on those. Start with your best selling items and then start adding more and more and more little by little. The idea is to have something novel all the time. Make sure that customers are coming back and check what's new, what sales do you have, what new items you are offering. And that is going to help you grow, create a captive audience, create recurring revenue, and secure your customers coming always back to your social media and your web store. If you have WhatsApp or you use Facebook or Instagram, make sure you put links to your website or your payment buttons to allow customers to make purchases right there. If you usually chat with your customers before they purchase, instead of sending them to your website or having them come to your store, make the order for them, create the invoice from your end, and send them the link to complete payment and tell them it's going to be ready for you to pick up whenever you want, or we can ship it to your house. This depends on your business model, but it's an idea of how you can do it. So we have multiple ways on how to sell things. You can use payment buttons, for example, to sell digital goods like music, paintings, classes. You can do services like vacation rentals, taxis, jet skis, charters, donations, selling clothing items, arts and crafts. You can pretty much do anything on e-commerce. You can sell cupcakes, cookies. I have seen pretty much everything from people selling out voodoo dolls from Trinidad and Tobago to arts and crafts in Jamaica to dolls in Costa Rica, to fruits and vegetables in Panama. So you can actually sell any kind of product or service. We have photographers, lawyers, doctors, life coach, pretty much anything that you do, it can transform to an online option where you can start taking payments online, providing Zoom classes, sending out your materials online over email, or using DHL, a local courier, to deliver. So payment buttons are a great way to start. They do not need a website. So if you're scared of having that 24/7 uncontrolled presence where anybody can come in and buy, you can use payment buttons to start little by little. You can send them over on a chat conversation. You can share it over a WhatsApp conversation. You can put it on your WhatsApp business catalog or your Facebook catalog, or as this little chai cupcake that we have down here. You can just make posts with the different products and bring people to your website or just to your payment page for that particular product. One key and interesting fact is that payment buttons with Fygaro are just not meant to take payments. They're actually meant to automate your business. We have over 4 types of payment buttons in Fygaro, and some of them include the product payment button, which is the one we have on screen, where customers can come in and buy one or more of the same item. They can choose if it is, for example, a t-shirt, they can choose the color of the t-shirt, the size, the quantity, and complete their payment information. But we have many other types of payment buttons that might suit better for your business. So for example, we have one that we call the custom payment button that was just used in Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, and Aruba for a charity run over TV, radio, and online, where customers can come in and type in any amount they want. We have other businesses like universities, schools, or independent companies that have their own platform, and they use our open custom payment button to have their system pre-fill the amount that the customer needs to pay. And like that, there are many, many other options from other companies doing invoicing B2B. So sending out an invoice to a customer or to another company, and that invoice was generated by Fygaro, and it comes with a payment button for them to pay that invoice. So there are a lot of different tools and implementations you can do from e-commerce, from the basic to the more complex one on a website. So if you want to go all in, we're going to talk about setting up your online store. Tools like Fygaro will offer templates that help you get started within minutes. There is no need of coding, no need of being a designer or a programmer or anything like that. It is designed so that anybody, doesn't matter their technical skills or educational level, are able to create a web store in minutes with no barriers and very easy to use. It works for both physical and digital goods, as well as services. So launching a web store nowadays is a great solution of starting a business. It's much cheaper than creating a physical store, and will bring all the tools that you need to get online, get noticed, and start promoting your business. So the road for launching a web store is as follows. First, you need to have high quality photos. If you are not taking those photos, try to look for royalty-free photos that illustrate your product or service, and make sure that they are high quality. High quality photos are going to ensure that your website looks stunning. Pretty much, I would say 80% of the website is composed of images, and that's what's going to make your website unique. It's important that your products and services have great descriptions. That will help the customer learn more about each of the services or items that you offer, but at the same time, it's going to give them an experience of what's going to be purchased. If you think about this, think about a few years back when we were able to go to restaurants and eat. When you sit down on a table, you start looking at the menu items, and they have amazing descriptions, crispy chicken, hot potatoes, or anything that they write in there that just makes us crazy and we want that dish. We don't have an image of that dish. We haven't tasted it or have a sampler, but it just makes us crazy because of the way it is written. So the same ideal we're going to apply on our online store. We want to make people crazy about the product that we're selling. We want to make them feel that they need it, that that's what they want, and that they can experience it. Thirdly, we're going to upload stocks to our inventory system. It is important, and that's why Fygaro brings an inventory management system to the whole platform, is that if you're selling online, there is no worse experience than making a purchase You pass your card, you make the payment, you got the confirmation, you're real excited that you're going to get your product next day or within an hour. And all of a sudden you get an email or a call saying, hey, sorry, we oversold, we don't have your product, we want something else. There's nothing more disappointing for a new customer than that. So make sure that your system is capable of having inventory management, that it is automated, and that it won't sell more than what you have in inventory. This way, you're going to ensure avoiding any pitfalls for your customers and making sure that they have the best experience possible. Some very important tips for your website. Even though we don't like to think about it, customers actually read everything that we put in there. So make sure that you have an FAQ page with frequently asked questions and an About Us page, because they're going to try to gain confidence on your website from there. As they don't have a way of speaking with us, they're going to try to read as much as they can about us. They're going to look into our social media to see if there are negative comments. They're going to see if we're active, if we have been sharing content, if people are liking it. And they're going to look at an About Us page and the frequently asked questions to know about our company, our refund policies, our story, and anything else that can help them make the decision of purchasing. If you want to make custom banners and imagery for your site, there are some free tools online. For example, there is canva.com that can help you create designs like banners, call to actions, and other imagery with text and overlays very easily. This canva.com tool is very easy to use, is very friendly, and can be used by anybody, and it's free. So it's a great tool to start. One of the main questions that we get about banners is, what is the recommended size? So usually the size has to be high quality, low in weight, so less than 1 megabyte is ideal. And in pixels, there is a dimension that is going to help you make sure that it works both on computers, tablets, and cell phones. And I like to use the 1200 by 360 pixels dimension. So it's 1200 wide, 360 high. That's going to create an ideal size for great, stunning imagery and banners on a computer, on a tablet, and on a cell phone, that they use those dimensions for the screen. It is important, if you're putting images of your products or your services, to also include a call to action. We need to tell people what we want them to do. So I don't know if you knew this, but our attention span where we're browsing a website online is less than 10 seconds before we decide if we stay or we leave that website. So we need to capture the attention of the person, of the cybernaut, as soon as possible. So we want to create call to actions, which are very direct messaging, telling people what they need to do, what we want them to do, and how to do it. So click here, purchase here, learn more here. Basically, those little instructions that drive us to make a click and start reading or doing something else on our site. And lastly, hear out for customers' feedback, customers' contributions on an opinion on how to improve your site, how to improve your customer service, how to improve your product. Even though it is our product, it's our service, something that we're offering, at the end, our customers are the ones purchasing it and using it. So we need to listen out for them and understand how they are using our product, how they could use it better, and what improvements they would like to see, so that we can customize and tailor the experience for them and get more customers like them through the door, or in this case, through the checkout process. One of the most important components and often missed by most people is the payment processing part. So if you are starting an online business, you need to make sure that the tools you are being offered are compatible with your local banking systems. So 99% of the time we see people coming in, I just purchased a website with a developer, with a designer, with a marketing agency, or I hired this platform online that I saw, and I'm unable to accept payments locally. It's not compatible with my bank. I don't have a way of bringing funds here. It's not compatible with my local gateways, etc. And that just basically makes you waste your money. You just wasted your whole time and effort because there is no way it's going to be connected, or you're going to require a lot of investment more on adapting or bringing the systems back to your country. So with Fygaro, we have the good news that we're already integrated to most local banks. So it's a very seamless process. we can work at the same time that you have a local bank accepting both US dollar and Jamaican dollars. You can also activate PayPal in case you have customers from the US that would like to take advantage of it. And there are multiple options and benefits of using Fygaro. So we have a secure platform with tokenization, meaning that we never store the cards in our platform. We store a token and we use PCI DSS level 1 providers. We work with your bank so we can help you get a merchant account with your preferred bank. And the bank officers are going to help you also to get online, and they can actually help you get started with Fygaro as well. So one of the key things about online payments and e-commerce is that we need to offer customers options. The more options we can offer, the easier for them is going to be to choose. If you're selling online to the US, try to prefer US dollars over local currency. If you're selling locally, try to prefer local currency over US dollars. And if you need to change that because, for example, your bank only accepts local currency, don't worry, Fygaro has foreign exchange conversion systems in place, so you can showcase your pricing in dollars, and then on the checkout, the system will convert the amount to local JMD, and will present the customer how much they're going to be charged in your currency. So there are a lot of different tools. The idea is that you have them available, that you make sure that your platform is integrated to your local bank, and that you can start accepting payments locally. One of the hiccups of using PayPal or other systems that only allow processing from the US is that there is no easy way or cheap way of bringing the money down to Jamaica. So it is of the utmost importance that you try to use your banks as the primary source, and only if you are unable to use your local bank, then resource out to a PayPal, or if you have a US bank account you can use, then that's an option. But the best way is using your local bank. It's going to be cheaper. It's going to allow you to have your funds within 24 to 48 business hours already clear in your account. And it's going to allow you to accept even local cards like NCB ski card and debit cards and all of that. So it's a great way of starting. And again, make sure if you're not using Fygaro and you're using another system, make sure before you purchase that it is compatible with your local bank. So please reach out to your bank officer and make sure that it is compatible with your systems. One tip for those of you selling physical goods, you should also consider logistics. So it's not only the payment component that is important, but we also need the logistics systems in place. So for example, we at Fygaro, we have partnered with DHL Express, which are the largest logistics company throughout the world. They are very fast and very friendly. And we have special conditions for our customers who use DHL Express to help them get their products across to over 220 countries throughout the world. There are different alternatives, and it is important that on your website you offer them. So if you are selling locally, make sure that you set up our custom shipping rates so that your customers can compare curbside pickup, that they can compare local delivery versus an express delivery. This is going to help increase your shopping cart value a lot, because customers are going to appreciate the speed and accessibility of getting their purchases next day or 2 days versus a postal offering that might take a week or a month. And they're going to try to increase the shopping cart value to make their logistics or their shipping expenses worthwhile. So it's an important thing to consider. Make sure that you have this ready before you launch your website in case you're selling physical goods. And if you need help, our team can connect you with a DHL representative to explore your options, both domestic and internationally. Or if you have your own fleet or your own company that you want to choose, our system is capable of configuring custom shipping rates for you to use and present to your customers with different rules. So now that we have created our website, we have uploaded pictures, we have created our inventory and make sure that everything is updated on the platform, we're ready to go live. So before you go live, make sure that you check your full website for spelling, that you have all the images, you text, that you have put your products live on the website, and everything is nice and tidy. And from there, you can start working on the launch. So one of the things before launching is make sure that you have a domain name or a subdomain that you can use. Don't forget that the challenge is to try and get, within the first 14 days of launching your website, at least $60 in sales. So let me explain here what a domain and a subdomain is. A domain is something like golive.com, where your customers are going to be able to access your website with your own custom branding. A subdomain would be something like golive.figaroshops.com. Those are free. We offer those free for all of our customers. And the custom domains do have a yearly registration fee, but will provide you the ability of have a custom domain name for your emails, a memorable domain name or address for your customers to access your website that is going to be shorter and easier to remember. So both are good options. You can start with a subdomain and change to a domain at any time. You can purchase a new domain with us or bring one that you already have. But it's important that those domain names reflect the name of your business, that are easy to remember, easy to write, and that will help you drive customers through your website. Keep in mind, and going back to the beginning, don't let the pursuit of perfection keep you from doing your business. On e-commerce, try to launch, especially in these days, try to launch your website as fast as possible. Make sure you have a first minimum viable product available. So a nice website that is already updated, that it has all the different information and products descriptions that you need before going live. We have an amazing website launching checklist that you can use. You can request it from our team, and it's going to guide you step by step on all the things that you need to cross before launching a website. And that is going to help you make sure that everything goes perfectly on launch day. So now that we have published our website, it is available on the web, we need to attract customers. All right. So one of the main attractors for people are discounts. So if you're doing marketing, if you are sharing with your friends and family about your website, make sure that you create a launch coupon code, something that you can offer for customers to get some sort of extra incentive to come and make purchases on your site. You can offer a first-time coupon, then you can do a repurchase coupon. For example, after somebody makes a purchase on your website, you can send on the invoice confirming the payment a coupon code that says, come back to our website, make a purchase, and get 10% discount on your next purchase. So this type of coupon codes and promotions are a great way of keeping customers coming back, of giving them an extra incentive, or having them share with other people for them to discover your products and services, as well as your online store. Either a social media on a Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or on your own website, coupon codes are available with Fygaro, and you can share them with your customers and customize them by dates and amounts and many other things. So coupon codes are a great way of attracting customers. Next, make yourself known. So launching a website is like launching a store at a mall. If you just set up your shop, open the doors, don't turn on the light, don't do any advertisement, don't share flyers, nobody's gonna come. It's gonna take a lot of time. So a few people might drop in, but not your target audience. So when you launch your online store, make sure to go into your social networks, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp even, and set up posts inviting people over to your website. Make sure that they know that you are online, that you are accepting payments online, that they can buy from you, that you can ship to them. So make sure you post on your feed new products, promotions, coupon codes, inviting people over, and don't fall in the mistake of just publishing on your Facebook if you don't have followers. Make sure that you also add a little bit of boost, that you share on groups on Facebook, on Instagram, or use hashtags so that organic people come into your site. So for example, if you're selling mountain bike products, try to search on Facebook for groups that are related to cycling. Make sure that you share with them that you have launched a new online store, that you have a novel product that they might want, and let them know. If you have databases, emails, phone numbers, make sure to send a blast to them, invite them over to your store, share a discount, tell them your story, why you're selling that, why it's different from purchasing from another store. And that way, start creating relationships with your customers. If you already have a social media presence, Implement payment buttons so that you can close sales faster. So make sure that your customer is able to make the purchase right on your Facebook or Instagram instead of making them come all the way to your website or contact you or anything like that. So make sure that you're able to close sales as fast as possible. And lastly, what not to do. So do not think and do not make yourself believe that you need to have everything, all the features and functions available in the market before you launch your website. You shouldn't launch with a full Amazon store. Launch with something small that you can manage and start growing it little by little. If you try to put everything, pop-ups, testimonials, Instagram feeds, chats, etc., 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 everything is going to be very messy. It's going to be very complicated to maintain. You're going to need to have tons of people working and helping you have everything up to date and running. So start basic. Start with a minimum viable product, something that allows you to make sales, start taking money in through the door, and helping your customers with the information. And as you start getting acquainted with the e-commerce way, then you can start growing in tools, in features, and products and services. Second, try to launch the site. Do not try to launch the site with 100% of your inventory online from day one. So if you have 10 items in stock, good to go. You can put the 10 items on your website. If you have 100 items, perhaps try starting with the 10, 20, 30 best-selling items. Don't overreach. So having a lot of different products online, it's going to take you a lot of time. You need to have the images, the descriptions, the pricing, the inventory. So if you don't have the time and resource or assistance to upload all the different products, make sure that you have the updated pricing, pictures, and everything. Start with your best-selling items. Make sure that your customers start coming into your store, that they start getting involved with you online, and then little by little, start adding 5 to 10 products a week and start growing and growing until you have your full inventory available online. Thirdly, do not do a soft launch with friends and family. This is just going to provide you false information. Friends and family are going to try to purchase from you to help you. But at the same time, they're going to provide probably poor feedback. So try to do a soft launch with a very small subset of people. Go to a Facebook group and invite them over to make a purchase. Send an email to a couple of your contacts that might be interested that are not necessarily your close friends and family. And that way you're going to be able to get feedback from real prospective customers. And lastly, if you're going to contract the development with a freelancer or an agency or even a platform found online, please, please, please check first with your local bank for compatibility. Make sure that it is suitable for your local e-commerce ecosystem. Just as Fygaro is certified with most local banks, make sure that the platform is going to work. Most platforms from the US, from Europe, do not work locally. So make sure that you do not hire or contract anything before you know that it's going to work and that you have contacted your local bank officer and make sure that it is compatible. So with this, we come to an end to our session. So we saw the steps for creating a successful online store. We saw tips on how to use social media to turn it into a social store if we are not yet ready for a full website. The difference of accepting online payments with your local bank versus a PayPal, and the things that we shouldn't do when launching an online store so that all of our process goes as smooth and as successful as we want it. So thank you very much, everybody. Don't forget your challenge, which is $60 of sales during the first 14 days of launching your e-commerce, either a website or on your social media. And don't forget to subscribe on Fygaro and test it out with your first 14 days completely free, no commitment asked. So thanks again.
Thank you so much, Ariel, for sharing with us this morning. Your presentation was truly interesting, and I know that based on the feedback that I have seen in the chat so far, there are so many persons who have questions. I'm just gonna run through that right now because there are a couple of questions in there that I need you to address for me. Joanne Morris is asking, what are their plans to update the back end of the website so shop owners can better analyze the customer behavior And she's talking about behaviors such as acquisition and interest on the site. Also, is there a way to have a site-wide sale without manually changing all the prices?
All right, so that's a great question. So first of all, there is a saying in Spanish, I'm not sure if it's the same in English, but we don't want to reinvent the wheel.
Yes,
So
it's the
basically,
same.
there are great tools for analytics like Google Analytics, which is free. So we recommend implementing those within your Fygaro site to learn more about how your customers are interacting. We do have plans of offering our own analytics down the way, but they are not yet available because there are so many great tools like Google Analytics, like HubSpot Analytics, and many others out there that we are focusing on building the best platform for you to create and sell your products, and making sure that all the process is smooth for your customers and bringing connections with more local banks and more couriers. So we recommend that you use Google Analytics for some of those options. Our team can help you install them. It's just copy and paste, and you get all those analytics. In terms of updating pricing, is very easy in the system. So I would suggest contacting our support team so that they can help you and show you how to update all the inventory and all the pricing very easily and very fast. You can do it from a computer, tablet, or cell phone, so it's super friendly.
Okay. So I'm figuring in order to jump on this opportunity, the opportunity is being presented to set up an e-commerce site using Fygaro. What's the catch? Your 14-day trial is one, I know, but what about the packages? What are you offering in terms of what will people be able to take advantage of being a part of the Fygaro family?
All right, so Fygaro offers 14 days free trial so that you can test out the system and make sure if it is suitable for your business. We have thousands of customers throughout the region, so we know it works and people love it all over, but we want you to make sure that you like it for yourself. So we have from Fortune 500 companies that have turned down their own multi-million-dollar systems and use Fygaro for taking in payments, all the way to entrepreneurs that are starting out. Some start within 24 hours because it is that easy, and have their online store and presence online and start taking payments. There is no catch. Fygaro is a month-to-month commitment, so there is no long-term or yearly payments or nothing like that. So you can use it and suspend it or cancel anytime. So the idea is that you are comfortable, that you know the pricing. It's not going to be growing exponentially as you do with other systems in the States. We don't get any percentage of sales. It's just one flat fee per month.
Okay, great. I know that Fygaro has a relationship with the National Commercial Bank here in Jamaica. Are there any plans to take other banks under your wing, such as a Scotia Bank or a Sagicor or any of the other local banks that we have here in Jamaica?
So we have a special partnership with NCB. They're a great partner of ours in Jamaica, and we actually started in Jamaica with NCB, but we also have coverage with Scotiabank, CIBC, and some other local banks that you can use. So if you bank with them, you can reach out to your bank officer and they can help you get started, or you can request a service from our website.
Fabulous. Is there a listing available in terms of the partners, that the financial partners in particular that you use on your Fygaro website?
Yes, they're available there.
Fabulous. All right. Someone is asking about the compatibility with an existing Woo e-commerce store. Is Fygaro compatible with Woo e-commerce, with a Woo e-commerce store? And also with the QuickBooks element as well for invoicing?
All right, so basically Fygaro is a substitute for all of those. If you go for a WooCommerce and a QuickBooks, you're gonna be paying multiple licenses all over. You're gonna be paying your hosting, you're gonna need a developer to make sure that you have everything up to date, you're gonna need plugins, you're gonna need your gateway, you're gonna need a QuickBooks license, so you're gonna be spending a lot of money every month. With Fygaro, we have created a simple solution where you get all of that in one single place. So Fygaro has all the invoicing and accounting and inventory management that you'll find on a QuickBooks. And it comes with the free hosting, PCI scanning, SSL security certificate, and the website builder for you to have everything in one place and not having to integrate yourself things. So everything is already in place and ready. However, that said, we do have payment buttons that you can use on other platforms. but we can only provide support from within the system. How do you implement that on external systems? You can use some of the tutorials that we have managed to create based on our knowledge of other platforms, but you'll have to explore it on yourself or using the other platform support for them to help you on how to set it up.
Okay.
But it is possible.
Question, domain names. So let's say, for example, I have a store. My store is, let's say the name of my store is Things or Sansia's Things. When I sign up on Fygaro, how do persons become aware that they've reached my e-commerce site? Is it that it's a fygaro.com/Sansia's Things? How does it represent on the front end?
All right, so if you have your own custom domain, your customers are actually going to go into your name.com, for example. So the whole website is branded with your brand, with your name, with your colors, your font, your images, your products. So we are just the backend engine to help you power that experience. It doesn't matter if you use payment buttons or web stores, everything is going to be branded with your own brand. It does show on the bottom part, very little, it says powered by Fygaro, but the whole branding experience is yourself. So you can choose your colors, your everything. We do have a second option for those that do not want to yet buy a domain, which runs for about $15 per year. We do have a free option, which is called subdomains. So it's going to be like your name.fygaroshops.com. But when you access, the branding is going to be completely your own.
Okay. Another person is asking, how is Fygaro different from a Shopify? And also, if we pay for a custom domain name, if we come up the website, will we still retain the rights to the name?
Great question. So in comparison to Shopify, we are a platform designed for the Caribbean. So first of all, we are integrated with your local banks directly. With a Shopify, you won't be able to do that. Secondly, we don't charge a percentage of sales. With Shopify, you'll be paying for a percentage of your sales to your bank and to Shopify. So that makes it very expensive. And thirdly, we are an all-in-one platform. So with us, you don't need any coding or plugins or anything. Everything is already integrated and ready to go. So those are just three of the many different opportunities that we have, not even getting into pricing, which is much cheaper to use Fygaro, which is a flat monthly fee that is way lower than all of Shopify's plans.
Okay. Denise Robinson is asking, I'm on the last quarter of setting up my website. How do I, at this stage, integrate Fygaro? Or is it advisable to integrate Fygaro? She's finishing her website.
So that's one of the things we were discussing on the presentation. If you're developing your own website and you're not doing it with our Fygaro web builder, then you're going to need to explore your possibilities. You have our payment buttons that are an option, but it's not going to provide a full experience to your customers as a Fygaro Shops website builder would. So meaning you will have payment buttons that you can place on your website, or you'll have to go and look for a payment gateway, which is going to run a lot of more expenses to your tab every month. So it really depends on what you're doing, how you're doing it. My advice is to contact our support team over WhatsApp or email so that they can explore exactly what type of website she is building, what type of platform it's being used, and if there is something that they can do with that setting, or if she can be migrated to something from our own side and connect her to our inventory, invoicing, web builder, hosting, and partner banks.
Okay. I noticed that you mentioned WhatsApp as a platform. Is it that Fygaro also works over WhatsApp so that you can sell via WhatsApp? Oh, really?
Yes, so you can use the WhatsApp business catalog to put your payment buttons and have customers make purchase from there. You can also share when you're chatting with a customer, either in WhatsApp business or the personal WhatsApp, you can share with them a link to pay an invoice that you created for them. So there are many implementations how to close sales from within WhatsApp.
That's fabulous. All right, so here you have a testimonial. This is from Joanne Morris. I use Fygaro because I don't have an American bank account and don't want to wait months for a PayPal check. It gets the job done, and I can't wait to see how the site will grow over time. I'd like my logo to be a little bit bigger, but I enjoy getting my money within 2 days maximum. So there it is. You have an actual user of the Fygaro platform online this morning. I see Tanya has a question. Tanya, I'm going to unmute you and you go ahead with the question.
Good morning. Thank you, Santia. Thanks for an interesting presentation so far. I've actually been trying to get a proper handle of this site and what it has to offer since May or June of last year. And I'm going to have to tell you that one of the first reasons I ran away is because of the insistence on an NCB account. And I really hate NCB, and I did not want to have to go through the trial and the trauma of opening another business account when I've already gone through the trial and trauma of opening a business account locally already. I just went and looked on your site, and it only also lists, I think, CIBC and Scotia as other banks that you work with locally, and neither of those are banks I work with. So I have a question about the hurdle of getting a new account if I do decide to go with you. That's one. Two, I would love for you to go into a little more detail about when you say you provide accounting services, because at first you specified invoicing services. And the reason I use QuickBooks in addition to WooCommerce is that I have other accounting needs. So how fulsome is the Fygaro? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Fygaro needs, because, and I just to contextualize, I do books, so I'm a publisher. I'm going to have to deal with getting royalty payments to my writers. I have a whole bunch of things I have to make sure that because I produce the books, I have to make sure that it's not just calculating inventory, but it's also inventorying, calculating cost of sales. Are all of those put in? I'm not seeing those questions answered on the website, which is why I'm asking you here.
All right, so those are a lot of very particular things. So Fygaro offers all the basics that an SME and an entrepreneur needs to run a business. So to give you an idea, companies like Samsung use us for their invoicing throughout Central America. So it is flexible. However, there are some companies like yourselves that might have particular needs. It would be good if you speak to our customer support team to provide an exact idea or detail of what you're looking for them to help you see how you can do it within Fygaro or how you can connect with another system to complement. In terms of the bank account, it's important to note Fygaro is not on the bank. So Fygaro is just the online platform. We're integrated to multiple banks throughout the region. NCB, Scotiabank, and CIBC are just some of those. We are in no part able to change the processes on how they work. So it is important for you to understand that those are separate processes. You can use PayPal, for example, but you won't be able to get the funds locally. So that's a hiccup on so to speak. And the bank side, the thing to keep in mind is that there are local regulations and international regulations on how e-commerce can be done. And this is to ensure both your safety and your customers' safety. Because if we just open accounts without a local bank, without the procedures, then the fraud can rise. And the problem with that is that you're going to be paid, you ship your product, and then all of a sudden, like, you didn't receive the funds. So that's why there is some lenient processes with the banks. But it would really be good if you speak to our support team about who you're working with. I know that NCB is great at opening accounts, but you can try out other banks if you feel more comfortable with them and be able to go online. And I'm not sure, Sansa, if I'm overreaching here, but I know JBDC will be offering something special very soon for Fygaro customers. So I would keep my eye out for that.
Yeah. So Tanya, you can look out for what's coming up.
Okay, I definitely will. But just to say, I'd like to know how to get to talk to somebody. I tried using the Fygaro WhatsApp thing. the robot didn't work and it didn't recommend me to an actual person either. I tried to sign up via Instagram where I don't remember if it was directly through you guys or directly through NCB I'd respond to one of the ads and somebody was supposed to follow up with a consultation. I got none. So
Tanya, what I will do is put you in direct contact with Ariel. Is that okay, Ariel?
Yeah, and if there is anybody else that needs to contact, so if it is within the chat system, just type in the word agent and answer the questions the system will ask. So your name, your email, so that it gets you in contact with an agent. Or if you feel more comfortable, you can also email support@fygaro.com and a real agent will reply.
Okay.
All right, great. Chandris Foster is asking, what is the relationship between Fygaro and First Atlantic?
All right, so First Atlantic Commerce is one of our partners. They are part of our gateway ecosystem. So one of the great things about working with Fygaro is that you only contract with us and the bank. We take care about the rest of the process. So our special pricing for the gateway and everything is only for Fygaro customers. You don't need to worry about signing contracts with gateways or other components around there. So once you sign up for your account, you set up your account with the bank. We'll help you set up the gateway on our side with our special pricing, which is a one-time activation fee of $60 and then 25 cents per transaction for most banks. There are some that is a little bit different, but you can reach out to our support team and we can definitely get you in contact and assist you with that.
Wonderful. Another testimonial here, this one from Theo Smith, who says, I also use Fygaro from around April or May last year. It has been a great experience. However, it would be so much better if they allowed integrations with other popular softwares. So that may be something that you can look into addressing, Ariel, as you seek to get the system better.
Yeah, it will depend on what type of integration they're talking, but definitely they can reach out to our support team. We're always taking in feedback. We're about to launch some new features very soon. We just relaunched the website editor based on the feedback we got from customers. So we take feedback very seriously. So please, if you have any feedback, reply to our emails or contact us at support@fygaro.com so that we can take a look and see how we can help you.
Wonderful. And Ariel has also dropped in the chat the email addresses that you can send your messages to should you require support for your businesses online. If there are any additional questions, feel free. There's also a WhatsApp number that he's just put into the chat as well. Chandris is asking, can the payment button be connected to the Instagram shop option?
Yes, it can. You can use Instagram shop, Facebook product catalog, WhatsApp business catalog, or just use the standard Facebook publications or Instagram, kind of like a link tree or something like that.
And they're accessible in Jamaica, right?
That will depend on the accounts. So it will depend on your account.
If it's a business account, more than likely it is accessible right here in Jamaica.
And if they don't have it available, then I would recommend something like Linktree so that they can put the different product links or payment buttons within the link bio.
Okay, great. All right, so if there are any other questions, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to drop them in the chat. We're about to wrap up because I know that there aren't any additional questions right now. I just want to let you know that this recording, along with all the others that we have done for the JBDC Virtual Biz Zone, the Gift and Craft Biz Zone, and our Entrepreneur's Journey, they're all available on the JBDC YouTube channel at JBDC Jamaica. So if you are interested, please go over and hit the subscribe button so that you will be notified when any of our new uploads are done. We will also provide, will you provide your information? Would you be able to send us this PowerPoint, Ariel, so that we can share it with the audience?
Yeah, let me see what I can share.
All right. So once Ariel provides me with what he can share, I will most definitely send it out to you. Great presentation from Shamil Bloomfield. And I'm also saying great presentation, Ariel. The information is definitely useful. And I can see from the feedback that you will definitely be having a few conversations with some of our entrepreneurs. Someone is asking if Fygaro is linked to Sagicor Bank.
Not at present, but I'll look into that and see what we can do about it.
It would be so great, Ariel, if you would think of adding more financial institutions to the ones you already have, because there are several banks here in Jamaica. So once it's compatible with the system and it can facilitate what it is that Fygaro does, try and incorporate it in the system, because people have lots of choices where financial institutions are concerned, and so they won't stick with any particular financial institution. Tanya, I see your hand. I'm gonna open your mic again and allow you to go ahead with your question.
Oh, okay. So the hand up was for previous. I just forgot to drop it. But since you've given me the opportunity, I would like to say that I really endorse what you just said, and it was what I was trying to explain about not wanting to change my bank, because it's not that I don't understand the importance of the rules and regulations around a bank, but opening an account for a business locally is not easy. And when you've already gone through that, and sometimes depending on the bank's requirements can be very expensive. So it really makes sense to be, I think what we pay, Jamaica is calling it bank agnostic, in terms of to have that relationship with multiple banks, because it really is. And I pointed out how going to NCB was a deterrence for me, because it really is something that someone has to think about, adding another financial institution to the headache you're already having. So it would be a really great step to widen that scope.
All right, great. Thank you.
And Tanya, who are you banking with?
I currently bank with Sagicor and JMMB.
Okay, perfect. We'll take it into account and see what we can do.
Thank you.
And for Dwayne, that asked about any support for First Global Bank. Ariel will be looking into that as well.
Yeah, I know First Global Bank, it's getting online. They weren't e-commerce ready. So as soon as they complete their certification, they are going to be connected to us.
All right, fabulous. All right, so thank you so much for joining us, everyone, this morning. Thank you, Ariel, for sharing with us as well. I want to remind everyone that our JBDC offices remain open. Our main office is at 14 Camp Road, Kingston 4. We, however, encourage persons to give us a call at 876-928-5161 to make an appointment, or send us an email at info@jbdc.net. Our greatest interest at this particular moment is to keep our staff safe, as well as to keep the members of the public who visit with us safe during this very challenging time. Thank you again for joining us. Look out for the presentation. It will be available on our YouTube website, on our YouTube channel, and we will see you again next week in this very same place, where we'll be discussing another interesting topic. Thank you, Ariel.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everybody.